My name is Barry Smith, and I'm the historian at Lincoln Park Presbyterian Church in Chicago. And the church archives at Lincoln Park Church have held the David Sindt papers since 1987. David Sindt was the person that started the More Light movement in the Presbyterian Church. I'll tell you about the first time I met David Sindt. It was coffee hour after church one Sunday, and he was standing near me, and I saw that he was wearing a pink triangle on his collar, which pink triangle being something that originated in the Nazi concentration camps that gay men had to wear. And I knew it was a symbol of the gay movement, pride and affirmation. And I was almost immobilized in shock that somebody would wear that at church. And because I was struggling with my own sexual orientation at the time, and I just couldn't imagine that I would ever even make a statement like that by wearing a pink triangle. So that was my first introduction to David Sindt. And then, as I mentioned, I was asked to be on the session, to start my term on the session in what would have been January 1980. So this was in the summer of 1979. And so there was going to be a congregational meeting in October to elect the next class of officers. And I said, fine, I was excited. And then about 2 weeks before the congregational meeting, the chair of the nominating committee called me and said, we just want you to know that someone is going to be nominated from the floor for a position on the session. And so therefore, we're going to vote by secret ballot, and it's possible that somebody might not be elected. There's only 4 positions, and there will be 5 people running. So that the 5th person was going to be David Sindt. One of his friends in the congregation was going to nominate him for the session, feeling that it was time to address the regulations of the Book of Order. And actually, it wasn't in the Book of Order. It was the definitive guidance that had been passed by the 1978 General Assembly and then ruled to be binding by the stated clerk. So I went, the day of the congregational meeting arrives, and the congregation is involved in at least a 2-hour debate whether David should be elected or not. And here I am, Barry Smith, knowing that I'm gay but not being public about it. I remained silent during the meeting. And David Sindt, who was out as a gay man, was public, and it ended up that he was not elected and I was elected. So being silent, I got in. He was being honest about who he was. He did not get in. So that is a jarring thing to have in your mind, that you were part of a system that did not honor honesty and integrity. And so I thought, I'm just going to be on the session and do my best and let this issue just sit for a while. Well, the session created a homosexual rights task force to try and figure out a way to change denominational policy. We were very naive about the possibility of doing that. But they felt bad. Everyone felt bad about David Sindt. They liked him. He'd been a member there for a number of years. So every month at the session meeting, there was a report from this task force. And the issue was not going to just fade into the background. It was there all the time. And I saw how this small church really wanted to change denominational policy so that everyone could serve regardless of sexual orientation. And they produced a remarkable paper called Ordination in the Local Church, where they said that we should evaluate everybody based on all their human qualities, treating sexual orientation as just one of those qualities.